Everybody, welcome back to Baking with Joy. And it's the night before Thanksgiving, and we're going to make a pie for our Thanksgiving meal tomorrow. And it's going to be a chocolate pecan pie. Okay, so I have my mixing bowl right here. And in this bowl, I've got 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. 1/2 cup of each, brown sugar and granulated sugar. I have 1/4 cup of cocoa, and I'm just gonna put this in there like that, in that bowl, and I'm just gonna take my spatula and get it mixed all in together. I've searched recipes on YouTube, and I came up with this one. This one seemed to be the most simplest. This recipe does not use the Karo syrup. And it was hard to actually find any chocolate, specifically any chocolate pecan pie recipes that used cocoa. So I'm kind of adding this in here. Most of them use chocolate chips, but I'm going to use both because I want this to be a more chocolatey pie than pecan. Pecan is not our very favorite pie, but we did want to try this recipe this year. So in here I have my Hershey's cocoa, 1/4 cup, and 1/2 cup each of white granulated sugar and light brown sugar. And in this bowl, I have 1/2 cup or 1 whole stick of melted butter, and it is unsalted butter, so I will be adding a pinch of salt. Just a pinch of salt to that, since it is unsalted. Now I'm going to stir this mixture up and get it incorporated well. And if you hear a little gnawing sound in the background, that is my 6-month-old puppy chewing on his little chew toy. So that looks like that's mixed up good. So that is our melted butter and our cocoa, our pinch of salt, and our sugars in there. Okay. So next, we've got 2 eggs. And I like to break them in a separate bowl. I'm just going to take a fork and kind of beat them up. So they'll already be kind of mixed up when I pour into my little batter here. I got my oven preheating to 350 degrees. So we're just going to pour these 2 beaten eggs in. And we're going to take the spatula and just get it mixed all up. Really good. Now I'm going to be adding in about a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, get this mixed up in there. Okay, now in here I have 1 cup of toasted pecan chips. As I told you, pecans is not our very favorite, but we did want to try this. And I don't like the big pecan pieces. So this is pecan chips, and they're already toasted. So I'm gonna get that in there. And I have 1/2 cup of milk chocolate chips. So it should be a fudgy pie. So we're just gonna stir in these pecans, these chocolate chips, get them all mixed up and incorporated with a spatula. And I've got a 9-inch deep dish pie shell over here to the side. I'm not pre-baking it or anything. And as I said, I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And that looks about good. So we're gonna pour this over here and pour our batter into this pie shell, into this unbaked pie shell. This smells delicious already, that fudgy smell. So we're just going to spread it out, make sure it's even. And that is all there is to it. And clean my spatula off a little bit. Okay, everybody. This is going into my oven that has been preheated to 350 degrees. And this will cook for approximately 50 to 60 minutes, somewhere in there. So after 50 or 60 minutes, we'll get it out and I'll show you what it looks like. We'll be back. Okay, everybody, our pie is done, and I let it cool about 15 minutes, but I don't think I let it cool quite enough. As you can see, I cut a piece and it just kind of broke apart, but so it hasn't set completely. So it baked about 55 minutes in a 350 degree oven, and it smells delicious. And I'm just going to do a taste test right here. It is very good. Just a subtle amount of pecans. And of course you could use bigger pieces than I did. Since I used the pecan chips, you could use bigger pieces of pecans to get a more pecan pie taste. But it's very rich and very fudgy. It is very good. And this is going to be a wonderful dessert for our Thanksgiving table tomorrow. Everybody, I'm glad you could join me tonight for this last minute Thanksgiving dessert recipe. Chocolate pecan pie is very easy to make, and it's a very good Thanksgiving pie. So tomorrow, I hope everyone has a blessed Thanksgiving. And until next time, this has been Baking with Joy, and God bless.